Think of Timbersled as the rebellious teenager of winter motorsports. Half dirt bike, half snowmobile, and totally guaranteed to turn heads and raise eyebrows on every snowy trail. This revolutionary innovation transformed ordinary motocross bikes into unstoppable snow beasts, offering adrenaline junkies an exhilarating escape from traditional snowmobiling. Timbersled's first prototypes looked like someone had lost a bet. But hey, the crazier the idea, the better the ride. Riders initially laughed, then gasped as these snow bikes carved effortlessly through deep powder, opening an entirely new world of winter adventure. It didn't take long for this quirky invention to capture the hearts of extreme sports enthusiasts and backcountry thrill seekers everywhere. What do you think? Did Timbersled push the limits of winter sports, or was it just too ahead of its time? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you've ever ridden one, we want to hear what it was like to take on the snow in such a unique way.
We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Do you enjoy the video? Your support means the world to us. Help us grow and hit that subscribe button. Thanks to you.
But the excitement didn't last. In 2015, Polaris, a powerhouse in the powersports industry, acquired Timbersled, promising growth and innovation. However, beneath the optimistic headlines, trouble was brewing. Corporate missteps, bitter legal battles, and shifting market forces slowly unraveled what was once a promising partnership. Timbersled's pioneering spirit, once wild and untamed, became bogged down by the corporate machinery of its new parent company. Despite Polaris's reputation for innovation, it struggled to balance Timbersled's bold vision with its own market dominance. As internal issues took their toll, the enthusiasm surrounding Timbersled faded. What was once hailed as the future of winter sports became little more than a footnote in the ever-shifting landscape of the industry. What went wrong? Could the snow bikes have thrived on their own? Or was something deeper at play? By 2015, Timbersled had become the undisputed leader in the snow bike conversion market. That same year, Polaris Industries, a giant in the powersports world, entered the scene. On paper, it seemed like a perfect match. The small-town innovator meets the corporate powerhouse. But, as they say, what could possibly go wrong? Polaris promised major investments in research and development, with plans to elevate Timbersled's innovations to new heights. Riders dreamed of a time when snow biking would go mainstream, no longer a quirky niche, but a legitimate alternative to traditional snowmobiles. Optimism was through the roof. Yet beneath the surface, trouble was brewing. What seemed like a dream partnership was about to face turbulence no one saw coming. Was Polaris truly committed to Timbersled's daring spirit of innovation, or was this acquisition doomed from the start? Stay tuned, because what happens next will forever change how you see both Polaris and Timbersled. In the early years after the acquisition, Polaris didn't just sit idly by. They introduced some exciting innovations under the Timbersled brand. The ARO platform, launched in 2017, was a major leap forward, improving power transfer, sharpening handling, and making deep snow adventures far less likely to end in a faceplant. Then, in 2019, Timbersled debuted the Yarayut system, aptly named, as it delivered the thrilling dirt bike experience in deep powder. It was everything motocross fans dreamed of. However, despite these exciting breakthroughs, Timbersled's momentum began to stall. Polaris had expected explosive growth, but instead found a market resistant to change. Snow bikes remained the cool, weird cousin of winter sports. Fun, yes, but not always reliable or practical. As sales slowed, Polaris began to question its commitment. What followed was a shift in strategy that many believe ultimately doomed Timbersled. Facing pressure from its core snowmobile and ATV businesses, Polaris shifted its focus. Timbersled's vision of revolutionizing snow sports faded, and the brand that once led the snowbike market became an afterthought. Its unique identity was lost amidst Polaris's push for larger, more conventional products. In the end, what Polaris gained in innovation, they lost in understanding what made Timbersled so special. A partnership that once promised to change winter sports ended up leaving Timbersled stranded in a snowbank. Yet another example of how even the most groundbreaking innovations can get buried under corporate priorities. Was Timbersled running out of steam, or did Polaris lose patience too soon? The ride was about to get bumpier. Stay tuned to see how the wheels started to come off. Several factors began to put the brakes, sometimes literally, on Timbersled's success. First, snow biking remained stubbornly niche. While dirt biking could happen almost anywhere, snow biking depended entirely on Mother Nature. If the snow didn't fall, neither did Timbersled's profits. Snowmobiling, on the other hand, was a guaranteed winter sport, no matter the conditions. Timbersled, however, was at the mercy of an unpredictable variable: snowfall, and that wasn't always guaranteed. Second, traditional snowmobiles continued to dominate the winter powersports market. Let's face it, why struggle with balance and agility on 2 wheels when you could cruise comfortably and carry your cooler on 4? Plus, turning a dirt bike into a snow beast wasn't exactly a budget-friendly adventure. Riders first needed to own a dirt bike, then spend even more on a Timbersled kit, making it almost as expensive as buying a brand new snowmobile. This created a significant barrier for many potential buyers, limiting the market's growth potential. Then, in 2023, disaster struck. Polaris had to issue a recall for certain Timbersled models due to faulty brakes. As if snow biking wasn't adventurous enough, stopping became an optional feature. This seriously undermined rider confidence, plunging Timbersled deeper into trouble. What should have been a thrilling snow adventure turned into a risky endeavor for some, as safety concerns began to cast a long shadow over the brand. Could Timbersled bounce back from this avalanche of setbacks, or was Polaris about to pull the plug? Stay tuned. The ride downhill is just getting started. Just when things couldn't seem to get worse for Timbersled, 2023 brought another twist straight out of a Netflix drama. Polaris filed a bombshell lawsuit against Alan Mangum, Timbersled's original founder, accusing him of stealing proprietary designs and trade secrets to launch his own rival snowbike brand. Apparently unsatisfied with just one snowbike revolution, Mangum decided to go for round 2. His new venture threatened to slice into Timbersled's market share and tarnish its reputation. Polaris claimed Mangum didn't just walk away. He left with a suitcase full of trade secrets. The case quickly escalated into a fierce courtroom battle, captivating the entire powersports community. Fans watched, popcorn in hand, as the once harmonious partnership disintegrated into a bitter rivalry. The high-profile nature of the lawsuit only fueled the spectacle, drawing attention from all corners of the motorsport world. As the legal battle raged, many wondered if Timbersled's golden days were behind it. Innovation took a backseat to litigation, and riders began to question whether Polaris still believed in the Timbersled dream, or if they had simply let their groundbreaking product fade away. The combination of internal turmoil and external legal battles created a perfect storm, and many feared the once promising brand might not survive this chaotic chapter. Could this lawsuit spell the end for Timbersled, or would it spark an epic comeback? Stay tuned. This saga is far from over. By 2025, the writing wasn't just on the wall, it was spray-painted in neon. Polaris officially announced it would discontinue the Timbersled product line, citing sluggish market growth. For die-hard snowbikers, it felt like losing a favorite TV show mid-season. Shocking, frustrating, but not entirely unexpected. The cancellation hit hard for longtime supporters, but the signs of decline had been clear for years. Stagnating sales, safety concerns, and the overshadowing presence of Polaris's broader portfolio in the market. Even the loyal fan base had started to dwindle, as new riders turned to more reliable and practical alternatives, leaving Timbersled with fewer enthusiasts to champion its cause. Polaris tried to frame the decision positively, promising to refocus on their traditional snowmobiles and off-road vehicles. But riders knew better. This was the final nail in the coffin after years of declining sales, product recalls, and courtroom drama. Timbersled, the revolutionary brand that once made snow biking the coolest sport nobody had heard of, had officially reached the end of the trail. To many, it felt like the end of an era. But some still clung to the hope that perhaps this wasn't the final chapter in the snow biking saga. So, did Polaris sabotage Timbersled's potential, or was snow biking destined to stay a niche sport? Hit subscribe, grab your popcorn, and let's dive into the gritty truth behind Timbersled's dramatic downfall. Was it really Polaris's corporate machinery that derailed Timbersled's success? Or was the brand always a product of a fleeting moment in motorsports history? Too eccentric for the mass market, yet too innovative to be easily forgotten. Timbersled's story ended like a bad first date. Full of potential but doomed by questionable choices and bad timing. While Polaris initially envisioned Timbersled as their next big thing, limited market appeal, product recalls, and messy legal battles turned their dream partnership into a cautionary tale. Perhaps Timbersled was a product of too much ambition too quickly. Or maybe it was simply too ahead of its time for the mainstream to fully embrace. Either way, it ultimately met a premature end, but not without leaving behind a legacy. Yet, even though Timbersled has disappeared from Polaris dealerships, its legacy isn't going anywhere. It transformed the way many riders saw winter, making deep snow look less like an obstacle and more like a playground. For those who tasted snow biking's thrill, Timbersled will forever hold legendary status. In many ways, the brand became synonymous with a rebellious spirit, unafraid to break the mold of conventional snowmobiles and embrace something new and wild. But now the big question is, did Timbersled fail because of corporate mismanagement, or was it simply too wild for the mainstream? Some believe that if Timbersled had remained an independent company, it might have been able to better maintain its identity and grow at a more organic pace. Others argue that the idea of snow biking was just never going to capture a broader market. Whatever the reason, the Timbersled chapter has closed, but its impact on winter sports and the memories of those who loved it will endure for years to come. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more stories from the wild side of powersports.